about cyclones, which is also known as avarta or chakravat. So cyclones are low pressure centers surrounded by isobars, and isobars are close to each other. Because they are close to each other, they create higher pressure. If they are far from each other, they create low pressure. So this low pressure centers surrounded by high pressure, high pressure, high pressure. It shall move like this: high pressure to low pressure, high pressure to low pressure. But due to Coriolis force, they tilt towards the right hand side in the northern hemisphere and on the left hand side in the southern hemisphere. So that is why the center is stable. And this is known as Ferrel's law. The Coriolis force is an imaginary force, and it occurs due to rotation of the earth, and it is less at equator. Now let us study some isobars, means same pressure, isotherms, means same temperature, isoheights, means same rainfall points, and isohalines, means same salinity. Like if the salinity is 20, it means 20 gram of salt in 1000 gram of oceanic water. And then we have isonefs. Isonefs means same clouds. Now in the northern hemisphere, if this is the low pressure center, this is high pressure, it moves from high pressure to low pressure, but it will tilt in the right hand side. It will create like this a anti-clockwise movement. Like this. And in the southern hemisphere, it will create a clockwise movement. Now, if there are 3 points, this is A, this is B, and this is C. This is the low pressure center. So due to the cyclonic movement, air moves upward, and along with cyclone there is always a presence of anticyclone. Due to anticyclone, the air moves downward, subsiding air. So due to subsiding air, at the B point there are less cloud formation, less rainfall, wind speed is slow, and highest temperature because of the subsiding air and low pressure. And this area is A. This is the first to occur, then this is third. This is the most disastrous area. At A and C we will have highest rainfall. At D we will have minimum rainfall. Even compared to B, D will have minimum rainfall. For having a stronger cyclone, we should have a strong anticyclone, and the clouds form are known as annual shaped cumulonimbus cloud, which creates a very heavy downpour. Now what is this anticyclone? In anticyclone we have a high pressure center and air moves. This is low pressure, low pressure, low pressure, like this. In the north hemisphere we have clockwise, in the southern hemisphere we have anti-clockwise. So you can see cyclone and anticyclone. For a strong cyclone you should have a strong anticyclone. Here there is a rising air, here there is subsiding air. Due to subsiding air we have minimum rimjim barish, here we have musardhar heavy downpour. Wind speed is fast in cyclone, this is slow in anticyclone. And in northern hemisphere it moves anti-clockwise, it moves clockwise. In southern hemisphere it moves clockwise and anti-clockwise. This anticyclone is seen in Rajasthan. Conditions are formed due to the westerly jet stream. As you can see, this is the Gujarat region and this is the region of Rajasthan. The southwest monsoon wind causes the rising air in Gujarat and rainfall in Gujarat. but in this region there is desert formation because the air cannot rise due to anticyclonic condition causing subsiding air in upper tropospheric region because of the westerly jet stream, while the same air will rise in Punjab and will cause air in rainfall in Punjab. Now the some facts like in Bay of Bengal, more than 90% of tropical cyclones occur, and western coast there are very rare cyclones. And tornado is like this. It expands over here. It is found in USA and Gulf of Mexico, but only on land. Now let us see some types of cyclone. Firstly, we will discuss about the tropical cyclone. Tropical cyclone is formed in the tropical area between Cancer to Capricorn, and it is not formed on equator. The reason is Coriolis force is less on equator, but first reason is IPCZ and second is low Coriolis force. As it moves from high pressure to low pressure, there is no tilting, so this will eventually, this concentration will be gone. This type of cyclone is found in water only, ocean only, because the energy, the latent heat of condensation, which is an heat engine of cyclone, is not present on land. So as you can see, as the cyclone is formed in ocean, as it reaches the land, its intensity decreases and it eventually dies. So it mainly affects the coastal areas but not the land. Now some conditions required for the tropical cyclone. First is low pressure centers surrounded by close isobars. Then warm oceanic current from 26 to 28 degrees Celsius. Then we latent heat of condensation, which is an heat engine of tropical cyclone. Then strong Coriolis force, and fifth is anticyclone in upper troposphere. Now, as you can see, as there is condensation, heat is released. If there is evaporation, heat is absorbed. So when there is heavy downpour, the latent heat of condensation causes heat release. It causes more rise in air. So because like first the air has risen, here heavy downpour occur, here latent heat of condensation is released, more rising of air, here it causes low pressure. This will again cause movement of air upward. Now some of the characteristic of tropical cyclone is that it is disastrous. It moves from east to west and it receives cyclonic rainfall and its diameter is smaller than the temperate cyclone. Now different name of tropical cyclone. In Indian Ocean we will call it tropical cyclone only. In China and Japan we will call it typhoon. Now in Australia and New Zealand we will call it willy willy. Then in Gulf of Mexico and USA, you can see its speed is highest, so it is called hurricanes. Right? Now, you know the difference between, if it is a curved closed structure, we call it Gulf of Ambert, which does not have presence of any coral reefs. If its radius is increased, it is known as bay, and if its radius is increased more, it is known as bight. Example is your Australian bight. Now let us see some type of rainfall. One is on the basis of rising air. If it is raised by the heat of the sun, it is known as conventional rainfall. If it is risen by mountains, then it is known as orographic rainfall. Due to cyclonic rainfall, and then another is frontal rainfall, which is seen in temperate cyclone. Some of the Marathi names for these cyclone is that we will call this as Aroha Parjanya, this as Avrodh Parjanya, Avarta Parjanya, tropical cyclone, and Aghadi Parjanya for frontal rainfall. That's it.